Hey everybody, this is Fumi from freespiritedfumi.com, and I'm being silly today. But yeah, so you may have seen my other two videos about undergraduate student loan debt and private loans, and I cannot believe I went through two videos and I did not tell you this. Okay, so this video is going to be about how to pay off your loans, one strategy that I've seen work for other people, because I haven't started paying off mine yet because I'm still in school. So yeah, so so this is what one family did, and this was a newspaper article that I saw about a family, and it just all of a sudden clicked with me. Some of you, when I describe it, I don't remember the name of these people, but you may have read it. So there was a married couple, and the wife was a housewife, and I don't know if she went to college. All I know was the man was the breadwinner, and they had a mortgage. They had, I think, a car note. They had credit card debt. They had like maybe I think the number's like $50,000 something of debt, okay? And he's the only one who works. So how in the world? I think it took them like 3 to 5 years to get rid of all that debt. Literally, they were like, oh, we're only like a week away from paying off all the like $50,000, and there's like one income in the house. Yeah, I wonder how they do that either. Living in a nice house with 3 kids, in the suburban neighborhood, and they got how it is, the Starbucks, the internet. So this is what you can do, and I feel bad for anybody who has over 50,000 or anybody just like in general, but I'm just gonna get to the point what they did. Now, if you have a lot of debt, I mean a lot, and you already know that especially when you start out, you're not gonna make a lot of money. You're gonna have to first know exactly how much you owe for all of your loans. You need to sit down and make a sheet and write down all, like, everything. Then you go and you take a separate hour and you go through your bank statements and you track all your expenses and you break them into different sections: entertainment, food, gas, miscellaneous, and you need to know exactly how much your money each month is going to each place. And once you see the numbers as to where your money is going for food, for entertainment, for carry out, for anything, for school, and you have a separate spreadsheet or a separate sheet of paper that show you every loan, look at them individually if you haven't consolidated them, along with the monthly interest rate, along with the principal balance you have to pay. And what's the dog doing? So once you have this and you have all the numbers, you need to, of course, immediately reduce your miscellaneous and cut some things out. The key to what happened with this family, what they did is, the first thing they did was what I just suggested you do. Smokey, stop. You're doing too much. The dog. But yeah, so okay, so the first thing they did was they reduced their expenses. They got rid of the cable. They stopped going to Starbucks. I don't even drink coffee, but people spend a lot of money at Starbucks apparently. They didn't go out like that. They had potlucks in their home. They just cut their spending, and they literally lived. They didn't live paycheck to paycheck because they did put money in savings, and they did use the extra money on savings to pay off their loan debt. But that's not the crux of what they did to get out of debt. What they did was, which may be easier for you if you are married and you are a housewife, or if you're a college student and you have more time, the key to what made this family pay off their loan debt was actually what I just mentioned, plus the fact that the wife, what they did was, since the mother was a stay-at-home mom, they actually started like a side business. I think they were going to flea markets and selling stuff. They were doing odd jobs. I'm sorry, it doesn't matter what degree you have. You have to put aside your pride and your ego, no matter where you went to school. And you have to do what's necessary to get that loan debt down. And when you have everybody cooperating, you need to have, Jenny outside selling lemonade. They all got side jobs, number one. And the mother, they had like a side family business that the mother would keep tabs on while she was at home, in addition to taking care of the kids. The kids would go to school, so that made that easier. And the husband, he would go to work. And guess what? Even though he worked, he got another job, and he worked with the side business. So the thing is, when banks loan you this kind of money, and they're like, why do they do this? They don't. Let me tell you something. They don't expect you to pay off the money, guys. They don't. They know that most likely no matter what you go to school for, the majority of us, they know that your income is never going to be enough to pay off the loan. That's why they give it to you, because that way they can make money off of you until you die. And I'm not saying this to be a wise A. I'm saying this because it's true. If you are a layman, if you are average worker B, for the majority of us, and we're irresponsible and took out loans, or maybe your school just whatever, you're not meant to pay it off. Period. So how do you go against that? And this is what sets you free. You need to start a side business. Under the table, on top of the table, take cash only. You need to go, let me tell you something. When you get paid and you pay your monthly loan payment, and you have your couple $100, some less, to do whatever you want with, you need to take half of that money and you need to invest it in, you need to take half the money, you need to invest it in a side business. I don't mean one of these get rich quick schemes. I mean real things you can do on the side. Men or ladies, whatever, women, babysitting, cleaning houses, being a personal assistant, a virtual assistant. If you have any kind of skill at all, you need to start a website and offer your services professionally. Men, for them, labor. Other men, they do other things. Some people are good carpenters. Some men you can be professional movers. I'm just going to list a couple things for men. You guys, of course, there's always a labor. Go to Craigslist. Check out the gig section. Check out Craigslist. Craigslist in the gig section has stuff you can do for one day. Men or women going to events, signing people in, checking people in. There are day jobs you can do for one day, get $80, $60. Spend your nights, your weekends doing these. If you do this like every other day or every couple days, or just spend your weekend doing that, or part of your weekend, 80 here, 60 here, and put it in a jar. Don't put it in your card. Put it in a jar, put it in a safe, and keep that up. And at the end of the year, just pick a loan and pay it off. You got to do that as a family. If I'm speaking from a married woman's perspective, or as a person, you need to do that for the next couple years. That's why I said years. It takes discipline. Okay? You need to be innovative about having fun. I was just thinking about this for all you drinkers, and it makes sense why they did this back in the day. Stop going out and ordering all those dang drinks. You better pick the strongest drink straight, and you better get a flask, ladies. Get a flask. Figure out what your signature drink is. That strong stuff, not that little sugary stuff that you waste $30, $40, $50 on at the bar. And you better get you a cute little pink flask. Put it in your purse and get some hard liquor or something. So you spend less. Don't waste your money. Don't waste your money on these drinks and alcohol and on these happy hours and stuff. Order one drink and then you be sipping on your flask, okay? Just casually sip. Get a pink one. Get a cute little pink one, little dainty one. You get that straight stuff up in there, and that way you save money. And then when you're out and about, I always bring a water bottle. I don't drink. I get a water bottle, and I have whenever I go, even with fast food, I don't eat fast food like that. But when I do, I never order a drink. I give it back to them. Water is healthy. If I'm gonna be out all day, I'll cook some stuff and eat before you leave. Save money. A lot of money is from eating out. For gas, get Giant card. Giant has discounts for Shell gas stations. Look for these discounts. Start using coupons for your groceries. If you don't, start getting some. Start signing up for rewards. Don't get any kind of store credit card, but the free discount cards they have, you need to get that. And you need to start, and also not just doing odd jobs, but you need to figure out what skills you have that you can do on the regular. That's going to put money in your pocket. Because unfortunately, when you have that much debt, you have no other choice. You're like, well, I worked hard. I went to school. Da 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 da. Well, you took out several thousand loans. You took out 30,000 loans. You took out 40,000 loans. So unfortunately for you, you got a couple. I would rather get out of college at 20-something, early 20-something, and for 6 straight years work my butt off, and then hit 27, 28 years old and be debt-free for the rest of my life. I'd rather do that. Or I'd rather be 30 and for 4 years, 30 to 34, work my butt off and live like none of my other friends and my family will mock me and laugh at me, and I do what I do, and by 34, 35, I am free, and I can spend my last couple years saving up for a real retirement while they still scraping by, living off paycheck to paycheck, renting this and lay away this. That's what you have to do, and that's how the family did it. because they don't want you to pay it off. Why do you think there's so many lawsuits? Once you realize the game, you don't stress yourself out about it. You do whatever you can. And this is another thing I've seen people do, not just with student loans, but with loans in general. This is so bad. I'm not telling you to do this, but there are some people, especially some of in the elderly community, who are new to all these kind of scam-like loans, and they just being innocent and sweet, and they get these loans, and then they read the fine print and they realize that they're gonna die before they're gonna die before they can pay it off. So they just are like, well, I'm gonna die before I pay this off anyway, so I'm just gonna get a whole bunch of whatever. I'm in my last days, and I'm just gonna have fun. Now, I don't suggest any of you do that, but people do that. But yeah, you're gonna have to, especially if you have a house, if you have an apartment with an extra bedroom, if you have a house with a garage, you better clean that garage out, clean that attic out, and charge people for storage. There are so many ways to make money. You better start you a storage business. Let them store your stuff. You get an extra room, you better rent it out. You live in a nice neighborhood, you better rent that room out. You got a decent basement with carpet, you better rent that basement out for $1. You know what I'm saying? You got a car that's 2005 or newer, you better start working with Uber or Lyft on the weekends. You better babysit some dogs. You better do something. But that is a way that they paid it off. So that's pretty much starting a side business and doing side jobs will give you the extra money to pay it off. That's just the reality. Don't try to pay off debt with other debt. Usually you just make more debt and stress yourself out. That is pretty much, unless you're one of these people who are privileged to get out of school and make $100,000 and then live like a pauper for 3 years and then be done. For average folk, that's not how you pay off your loans. The people that I know who have paid off their loans in 5 years or less are the people who had a side business, had one major side business and had several different hustles, what they call side hustles, or did odd jobs on the side, and that's how they paid it off, and they're debt free, and they're relaxed, and they're chilling, and they're saving for retirement, and they're living their life. So that's what I'm going to tell you guys to do. And some of you guys are going to feel like, I don't know anything, I don't know how to do it. Trust me, dig deep and figure out something you can do. And if you don't want to start your own business, go to Craigslist, go to TaskRabbit.com, start being a freelancer, and you better get that money. So that's it for this video. I know it's pretty simple, but I've seen people do this in real life, and this is what I plan on doing. I already have my own side thing that I do, so for money. I don't have a job. I don't work right now, so I have money in my wallet, and I didn't go to work today for anybody else. Just saying. So that's all, and hopefully you will figure out something you want to do. This is all from Fumi. Check out my site, freespiritedfumi.com. I have some reading spots available for you ladies. Past life readings, love readings, all kinds of readings. That, and I also, which is new that I offer, womb healing sessions for those who, you kind of know if you dealt with any kind of sexual trauma, womb trauma, emotional trauma. I do stuff with that. But hopefully you guys will start to tap into your inner talents and use them to pay off these loans. So, bye-bye.